Nick, as far as DeMar Hamlin, have you talked to the team? What kind of conversations have you had about what went down Monday night?
Yeah, anytime there's a situation outside of our building that requires, discussion, we definitely do that. That's kind of our standard operating procedure here, and we did the same thing today. I won't get into the conversation, but and the major specifics, but really just want everyone to know that they got a lot of people that care for them in this building, and that the relationships, like this is one of the reasons why you build the relationships. So the people that are hurting from this can come talk to the people they need to. And then obviously we just all feel for DeMar and his family, and just praying for a speedy recovery.
Where do you stand in terms of Jalen's readiness for Sunday?
Yeah, we'll still keep that day by day. We don't have to make a decision yet. And we're going to see how this week goes, and we'll see how today's walkthrough goes of everything. And then, tomorrow we'll see a little bit more, because we'll be more than a walkthrough. We'll be practicing. And so, we'll get a better idea here within the next couple of days.
Nick, when you see something like that happened on Monday night, how do you, it reminded all of us, I think, of just our own mortality, and it is truly a life or death situation. How do you handle that when talking to guys who might be slightly skittish when they need to dress for this weekend?
Sure. Yeah. The first thing you do when you see that, it's just shock. You don't see that very often, and so it's just shock. So a lot of emotions and things are going through your mind. My first was as a football coach and as a former football player, what was going through my mind, and then it turned into my thought process. It turned into, how do I, mentor 80 guys through a tough situation like this, and then it turned into, well, my son plays football. Like, there's just a lot of emotions that you have to go through, and so, but to me, it's not. To me, it is just the support aspect of it. It's not, how do I. The last thing in my mind is, like, how do I convince them that. How did you said it? You kind of said, like, that. They have to go out and play. Like, it's just, we're just here for them right now, and trying to just be there for them. And this is a opportunity for us to practice what we preach. Do we really believe the connecting thing? Or is it all just BS? Like, and so this is our opportunity to not only, say, we're there for you guys, but also be there for them. And so that's all we care about, is that they know that they got a lot of people, all the guys, anybody that's suffering through this mentally, knows that they have people in this building that care, that first of all, they have the resources in this building to able to talk through things if they need to talk through things. And then, with all the different people that we have, but then also they have their teammates and their coaches that deeply, in front office, that deeply care about these guys. And, just like we do anything, just do it together and get through this tough time, and this isn't, there's been other things that we've had these things through, in these past couple years as well, that you go through, you have tough conversations, and you go through it, but at the end of the day, you just want them to know that you're there for them, and that you'll do anything you can do to, because, and then one thing that we talked about was, like, hey, there's a lot of perks to this game. This game gives us a lot of different things, and we're completely grateful for those things, but the best perk it gives us is the relationships. Like that, if you ask a player or a coach who's no longer involved in the game, like, what did you, of course we'll be able to rattle off some wins or some plays or some, whatever cool restaurants in Philly that we ate at or anything like that. But the first thing that's going to come to everybody's mind is the relationships. And so that's what, that's what you've hoped you've built to this point, so you can help guys through a tough time to this point.
Nick, after speaking with the players, are you sensing any hesitancy among any of them about returning to play?
Not the sense that I've gotten, but that again, that's not been the for the past couple days when I've talked to guys on the phone or seen them in person. That's not been the focus of the conversations. The focus of the conversations is, how can we be there for you? So we're not even to that point yet, because and we not ever get to that point, right? It's just, we want to be there for these guys in a tough time, and that's where we are right now.
How do you balance those conversations with also trying to refocus for a game on Sunday?
You just go from one to the next, and you try to make the transition there because you talk about the tough things that are happening, and you have that conversation, and then you transition. And it's not easy, and it's not from like going from like meetings to walkthrough. Like that's not what we're talking about here. So you just try to move on, and it's a tough balance. So you just try to move on to the next thing, and be where you are at that time, but also understanding that guys' minds could be in other places at that time as well.
What's the update with Josh Sweat, and is he back with the team?
Hey, Josh was in here today. No update as far as where he is. As far as anything there, we'll just continue to take it day by day. Obviously, he, we all know, with what happened to him on Sunday. But it was good to see him back in here today, and the smile on his face, and probably going to be bugging me to play. We'll see, but we'll take that day by day. I'm glad he's back in the building with his
Do you
teammates.
anticipate opening the practice window for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or Robert Quinn? And also, Avante, is there any update on how's he doing? How do you have a chance to get him back?
Yeah, with Avante again, it's just we're just taking that day by day as well, right? And we'll see when it, like, I'm not going to put a timetable on him. I know he's getting better as it goes. I know he was in there. He's been in there every day rehabbing. And so not sure when we'll get Avante back. We're hopeful that we get him back, but not sure when that's going to happen. With Chauncey and with Robert, that will open their window today, and open their practice window today.
And Jalen, will he be taking part in the walkthrough today?
Yes.
Last year you ran a quarterback sneak 14 times, this year 30 times, which no other team is doing. And my data goes back to 2000, and no one has run a quarterback sneak 30 times since 2000. The highest was 20. So you guys are running an unprecedented rate here. What goes into that decision? Why is it working for you, and why is that part of your strategy this year?
Yeah, good question. We lead the league in that. Good, yes. It's the what goes behind the decision is execution breeds confidence, and it's probably not the right time to say this because we didn't get the one done on Sunday, but we really just trust those guys in that scenario. I think somebody asked me if I had to do it again, and I would. The answer is I would do it because I have so much confidence that our guys will get it done, and really the confidence really starts in those first three guys right there. It's Jason Kelsey, it's Isaac, and it's Landon, and them pushing the way right there, and then it's the quarterback getting through it, and then there's a lot of different elements to it, and so. We have confidence in the play. We've scored a bunch of touchdowns on it. We got a lot of third and short yardage conversions on it. So that's where the execution breeds our confidence and why we like to call it. As far as the pure sheer number of it, is we've been pretty good on first and second down, obviously with the exception of last game, but we've been pretty good on first and second down where we're putting ourselves in positions to run these plays because we have a lot of short yardage plays. So the sheer number of it, of why they're so high, is because we've been in a lot of goal to goal situations. We've been in a lot of short yardage situations, and that's where we've been comfortable running those plays, and so that's a credit to the guys of what they've done on first and second down is why the sheer number of it.
You joked with Kelsey about his 92% stat on that. Did you guys actually have a conversation about it, or was that after the fact?
Say that one more time.
Kelsey has talked on his podcast about his 92%.
Oh, the 92%, yeah. Yeah, we just have a lot of confidence in the play. I mean, he's one of the reasons why we have a lot. I don't know the exact numbers of what it was.
Did he lobby you for doing it more or no?
Yeah. I actually can't quite remember all that, but we do it because of him, because he's so good at it. And so maybe subconsciously he did lobby just because of how good of a player he is and how good he is at that. Just like I said, we've had confidence in the play. We've done a good job at the play, and the players have done a great job, and the coaches have done a good job of coaching the detail of the play. You'd be surprised, how much detail goes into just that play. Like, well, they just get down low and they just push, right? There's so much detail that go into the play and the different things we've had conversations with. So, yeah, we've done a nice job with that play because of the guys.
Two more, please.
You guys have players, in those plays, mostly Jalen will get pushed by a couple players behind him. There's different formations that he uses, but that's kind of a feature of it. And in talking to people around the league, that seems to be kind of a new aspect of the QB sneak is actually pushing the quarterback and having guys do that. Have you talked to any defensive guys around the league who are annoyed with you for
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that they are. But until they say that we can't do that, it's illegal. And there's a lot of things that, as an offensive coach, there's a lot of things that defensive coaches do that annoy us as well on the opposite end. And so, hey, just we're doing what we can do to put our guys in position to succeed, and then our guys are going out and doing it.
If I could go back to Josh Sweat, I mean, obviously what happened on the field Sunday was kind of traumatic, and then to have, Damar Hamlin the next night, I mean, do you think that makes it even more difficult for you guys, seeing this 2 days in a row, basically?
Again, just I'm not trying to go there. I'm just, again, being there for them to talk through things. And like I said, I've had a bunch of conversations with the guys, but, of course, there's a human side to this too. I mean, of that, they see those things, and of course it's going to affect us in different ways. And not everybody's going to be affected the same way on it. And Josh Sweat's situation was scary. I think, that having to watch him lay there, before he, not getting up right away, that's a scary thing too. So that guys have to deal with, and so and have to maneuver, and so that's tough. That's the tough part of this, this game. I mean, that injuries happen in this game, and again, you just try to be there for the guys, and that's all you're trying to do. And everybody's situation and everybody's thought process is a little bit different, but that's why you have the relationship, so you can help, because not everybody's case is the same.
As far as the
Last one,
offensive line
folks.
goes, 6 sacks. I mean, people might say, oh, well, Lane's not there, Gardner held the ball too long. What was your take on that, and how do you think Jack Driscoll did coming in at right tackle?
Yeah, obviously you never want to give up that many sacks, and because they put you behind it's worse than an incomplete pass, right? Because you're losing yards on it. And so there's plenty of blame to go around for those sacks, right? Whether we didn't put the player first and foremost, we didn't put the players in a couple of the sacks. I'm like, man, there wasn't anybody open on that, and we just didn't do a good enough job helping the guys get open, or whether a receiver didn't get open on a play, or a tight end didn't get open on a play, or running back missed a block, it is a true 11. It's the best team game there is, and so it truly takes all 11 to do it, and it takes us as coaches too to put them in the right spot. So a ton of blame to go around for that, and it starts with us as coaches. Make sure that we help guys get open in those senses. And I thought Jack did a nice job coming in and playing against a player that's a good player, and. He fought, and he's going to get better from this, and so no complaints there with Jack.